Aloha huku ohana. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for your reading. We have a very beautiful message today. There's a lot going on around you. I thought that we would spend sunset together. So the message is, it's all part of your flight plan. Okay, it's all part of your flight plan, and this is about you speaking life into yourself, and it allows you to take off. What I was seeing is you're kind of speaking life into something, infusing life into something, even if it's this vessel that you've incarnated into. I'm hearing to be able to animate this character so that you can begin to really enjoy this timeless movie that you're I'm hearing not just participating in, but actually interacting when it comes to other characters within this movie. And I was seeing it as kind of sequels of a movie are your incarnations. But anyway, the other message I was seeing was that the quantum field is conscious, which means that you're sending out a signal, okay, a transmission into this conscious, very intelligent, self-organized system that's actually bringing you back something in resonance with what it is that you're putting out. And that's why it's really important to speak life into yourself and whatever it is that you're doing. I'm hearing because that energy that you're investing into yourself, or any extensions of yourself, which are things that you're creating in this existence, are going to be infused with that essence. That was the energy that was coming through, or infusing it with infinite potential. And I'm hearing, instead of infusing it with like limits, and it's a conscious being that's always listening to you. Okay, so there's something about knowing that there's this interconnected network that you're connected to. I'm hearing interconnected to as well, and it's an interconnected database, and you're accessing different domains of yourself. And that was like a huge energy as well that came out, because you have the Earth Star activation, which talks about anchoring, grounded action that you're being called to take during this time. And it also talks about Isis energy. Wow, are you okay? Like, this is what happens. Just has a mind of its own. But yeah, with Isis energy, it does talk about the integration between the physical and the non-physical aspects of self, where you're a bioplasma being that's incarnated into this carbon-based life form in order to be able to experience life on Earth, not just for growth in the physical, but also etheric growth as well. And I'm hearing like you'll take that growth through your experiences. I'm seeing it through like experiential contracts of some kind, and your participation is just enough, and you'll take forth. I'm seeing you also like bring forth those experiences to ascend into a higher octave. So that could be something that you're doing when it comes to the way that you're looking at your life on Earth. But there's also talks about pulling in gifts that you had brought into this lifetime. And I got this message earlier for you in regards to gifts that had been innately encoded within you that you're accessing during this time, especially as you clear up dense matter or debris. Okay, anyway, the message around you is gravitational acceleration, which talks about clear direction or focus, but you could really be focusing on some kind of goal and have your eye on a specific target. You also have spectrum as well, so this could be about widening the spectrum. I'm hearing that's now available to you. Your vision could be opening up as well with spectrum, tuning into higher bandwidths of frequency light, especially with magnetic field. This talks about things existing in energetic potential within the quantum field, and you're able to actually attune into this. And there's a need for self-trust when it comes to your ability to navigate. And I'm hearing also intercommunicate with your internal networks. I'm hearing in your connection with cosmic unseen forces that you're able to perceive. And the message that was coming through as well is that nothing externally can really disrupt or sever this connection that you have. That's like a huge message, because clarifying this, we have the King of Cups and the Seven of Wands. So this is about knowing that no external stimuli is actually interrupting or governing your internal state. Okay, that's like a huge energy that's coming through. Hold on, it's getting less dark, so let me fix you guys. Yeah, nothing externally is going to disrupt your internal state, and your emotional state is not dependent upon anything externally. So it's not about what's going on around you as far as chaos goes, but it's actually what it is you're connected to throughout it all, which is a cosmos within. And that's why you have a 9 of Coins energy, which is about you being a sovereign, creating your experience, where I'm hearing you can kind of observe passively and choose if you want to engage, and how congruent that is with your highest possible expression. Anyway, another message that was coming out, let me find it. There was also another message. With magnetic field, there's certain things that you're actually drawing into your experience during this time. that are going to support rapid growth and acceleration. Okay, it's like you're utilizing also anything externally, just further accelerating your path as well. Nine of Coins energy also could be like a skill and ability that you've cultivated. I'm hearing even throughout many lifetimes you've continued to work on this, and that's translating into your physical experience as well. You also have the Crumbling, what you clinging onto with you're not alone, isolation, physical connection and community. So this could be about cosmic, I'm hearing celestial forces that you were attuned into that are assisting you when it comes to, well, releasing with Crumbling, right? Releasing anything that the human could be clinging onto out of I'm hearing an illusion of safety when it comes to your comfort zone, but that comfort zone is a temptation and it's a contradiction towards when it comes to moving towards your highest possible expansion or embodying your highest possible expansion. So there could be a realignment or readjustment period that you're going through, especially internally. And then you also have a change in the wind. So a change in the wind basically talks about change as something that's inevitable in order to evolve, which is a universal law that we're all abiding by. There must be growth, and growth over time leads to evolution, but growth comes from change. And a change in the wind is almost like the universe coming in, right? The one verse in you coming in and disrupting your comfort zone, or disrupting your, I'm really like attachment to old ways of being. Maybe this is about playing it safe in some way. And then you also have travel and sky dances, surrender. So sky dances to surrender basically talks about this heralds the invitation for a brand new celestial chapter in your life. This is going to bring about, I'm hearing spontaneous, I'm hearing like a mission, which is super interesting, but spontaneous opportunities, circumstances, situations that are all supporting your soul's highest possible expansion in this life. And then you also have travel, which talks about you traveling through new domains, databases, densities, and dimensions within yourself. And I feel like you'll collectively come together with, I'm hearing like every celestial, I'm hearing dimension, but also seeing it as an angle, which is kind of giving me an angelic energy. So all kind of distinct life forms of yourself or manifestations encoded within you that are assisting you when it comes to merging like celestial gifts and being able to demonstrate that or have that bleed into your third dimensional experience. That's also another energy too. But we'll go ahead and read the High Priestess. So this talks about when you draw this card, know that your Earth star is being activated and the wisdom you once ignored is finally being acknowledged. The rejected parts of yourself have now been rediscovered, and there's an opportunity for you to rediscover magic too. But stay firmly rooted in all of your endeavors. Let the earth hold and sustain you. Don't rush ahead. In fact, if you've been wondering if it's time to move forward, know that it isn't. Stay put for the time being. Important information is about to be revealed, so wait and stand strong. And there's something about standing strong in this, in this knowing. And the message that came through right before this, which summoned me to do this reading, was that this truth that you've come back to and that you continue to come back to through every reincarnation is an embodiment. There's something about you embodying this truth. You don't need to explain it to the external stimuli. And whether the external stimuli like understands this or not, I'm hearing like this cosmic or eternal knowing. And I'm seeing it as like mortal and immortal forces. So this could be something about an immortal knowing. And it's hard for the mortal to understand when they have not yet awakened that aspect or integrated their immortal nature. And I'm seeing it as the mortal being as like a very localized version that has a very myopic point of view that can only see so much, right? It can only really look at reality. And it's not that you can't look at what others can, it's that you're also attuned to, again, those higher bandwidths of frequency light, the celestial and unseen forces, because you have your primary antenna, which is your multi-sensory perception system, and you can perceive what's happening on in these other dimensions, in these other layers, right? This layer that's all around us, this invisible blueprint of energy, where you're attuned to cosmic forces, intangible hands that are guiding your life during this time, and ways that you're being guided that goes beyond the mind. And because of that, you're also attuned to a layer of reality that not everyone can see, and that is your truth. And for the other, that's also their truth. You know, it's not that one truth is right, one truth is wrong, but there's something about holding space for that paradox, because one being's truth may be that they can only look at one layer of reality. You know, maybe you see a rose that's white and I see a rose that is red. That's the energy that's coming through, or vice versa, you know. And maybe you can also switch the framework in which you're viewing reality and see that rose is red or white also, right? But then you can also tune into higher bandwidths of frequency light and see it change to another color. So that's what I'm seeing it for you as. It's like your vision opens up, your third eye opens, and you're able to kind of attune into another layer of this reality. And I'm also hearing like another layer or dimension within yourself where it's very evident that you are in this world, but you may not be of it. And I'm hearing you're not bound by this world as well, neither is your vision. So yeah, this talks about diving deep and finding it and trusting yourself. You have more strength than you realize. So there definitely is something that you're tuning into. This talks about, again, wisdom that's been with you and tools that you're unlocking that's going to be really helpful for this stage in your journey. So that's like another energy with this cosmic force. Okay, I'm going to get another message around you. We got the, let's see. All right, what's your advice during this time? And it's really important that your internal state of harmony is not distracted by, I'm hearing external disarray, okay? And where you may be able to observe this dissonance that's happening with others, okay? Six of Swords, right? So Six of Swords talks about sacrifice. To sacrifice in etymology means to make sacred again. To make sacred and sacrifice in Hebrew means korban, which means something new is drawing near as a result of that. And with you, there's something new that's drawing near when it comes to your, I'm hearing like your mental sphere or your mental plane in some way. The King of Swords doesn't necessarily say a lot. He actually says less, and his silence can sometimes be deafening, and his actions are the things that speak 1,000 words. And when he does talk, he talks with purpose, he talks with precision, and he talks truth. Now we also have the Seven of Coins here, which talks about continuously manifesting, well, I don't want to say manifesting, but aligning your actions accordingly with this truth. Okay, Six of Swords is again like a swords energy, and swords does represent that truth. And Seven of Coins may say, you know, it may not be instantly gratifying because not everyone is going to recognize this, not everyone is going to understand this, but it is a time to understand rather than to be understood. And we have a Three of Coins energy as well. So Three of Coins at the base is basically about a huge level up that's happening. I'm seeing this also as cosmic and unseen forces. They're assisting when it comes to continuously placing yourself in, I'm hearing environments, even if this is just mentally within you, that are going to be supportive and highly conducive for your highest possible expansion. And I'm hearing, again, it doesn't really matter what's happening around you, it's about what it is that you're connected to, despite what it is that's happening around you. And when you're attuned to this interconnected system in such a way, you become aware of many things, especially when it comes to the unconscious coming to the surface and other fractals of awareness in very unconscious ways, because that fractal of awareness has not yet become conscious of itself. And that's okay, you know, hold space for that, because we have paradox, we have contrast in this realm, and it's keeping and sustaining harmony. Okay, there is a secret order in what may appear to be disorderly, and there's a need to hold space for that, especially because this is a multi-dimensional realm. Okay, there's a multi-dimensional realm, which means that you're dealing with multiple frequencies and dimensions, and it's learning how to hold space with that, not just for others, but also within yourself. I'm also going to take a look at another energy around you. What's the change in the wind? The change in the wind is the Ten of Coins and the Ace of Coins as well. So this is like a huge cosmic reset. And then you have an Ace of Wands here at the base, which basically talks about a new beginning that has a lot of potential for growth, just because it's something that you're very passionate about. So, wow, this is like a huge, actually, the change in the wind is about something accelerating very, very rapidly, especially when it comes to gravitational acceleration. Like, this is huge. This is a quantum leap energy. This is somebody starting something. I'm hearing staying steady on the path, and it's pretty much overnight growth. So you could be changing in what appears to be overnight for others, but I feel like there's always been an internal change that's been slowly making shifts within you. I'm hearing like you've been making new strides within, and people are now beginning to see this externally. But whatever this is, it kind of gives me a chronostasis energy, which talks about, you know, temporal freezing, or things that appear to be out of the blue for others, or things that appear to be like very sudden for others. But for you, there's been this slow, like internal, I feel like, culmination that you've been coming to, and that's becoming apparent in very physical ways. Maybe it's the ways that you're showing up for yourself in the physical, maybe it's the physical action that you're taking, but it's like people see, they see first an Ace of Coins, right? So some kind of new beginning, fresh slate, like a clean slate that you're making for yourself, where you're focused on what it is that you want from this point moving forward. Okay, it doesn't matter too much about what happened during unconscious times. Now that you're aware, what do you want from this moment moving forward? There's almost like a reinvention. And then you have a 10 of Coins energy. So this is something that you've been building when it comes to a foundation within yourself, and a foundation that would be supportive of your highest possible expansion. And this is about somebody leaving a mark on the world. And I feel like it's a mark that not only you're going to be highly admired for, but it's also a mark that really no one expected. No one really expects this, because it's something that you've been constantly showing up for again and again, even if this is just yourself, you know. This is something that has not been instantly gratifying. You know what this is? No one sees the internal work that happened. It's not about what's happened in the external now, because I feel like this is an external shift. I'm hearing even in your appearance, or just things that you're completing, or things that you're going to be, I'm hearing even servicing into the world by the ways that you've been of service to yourself. But to the external, it seems like this has happened overnight. It seems like this is, oh, what was the message? Like they just see the external growth that's happened, but they haven't seen the work that happened behind the scenes, because this didn't just happen by itself. To the external, the Ace of Coins with a change in the wind is almost like a sudden windfall. That's what it seems like. It seems like this is sudden. It seems like you just had a strike of good luck. And then again, with the 9 of Coins, this is somebody that has started with the Ace of Coins energy, right? You have all coins here. This is somebody that has started when it comes to rebuilding themselves, realigning themselves in some way, really starting back from scratch in some aspect of their life. And they had to make a decision with the 2 of Coins to kind of take on new responsibilities. 3 of Coins is about up-leveling themselves. 4 of Coins is about the things that no one really sees, the things that no one really hears, right? The internal work that happened. The 5 of Coins where they were wanting more and they really had to be able to show up for themselves. The 6 of Coins where there begins to be an effect of the new cause, right? The new action that they're taking has a reaction in the external, right? The conscious quantum field is listening always. And then you also have the 7 of Coins, so again, to continuously show up for yourself, even if it's not instantly gratifying. You have the 8, which is to master a talent, gift, skill, or ability behind the scenes, right? That mastery doesn't happen overnight. It happens through repetition, new systems that you're reinforcing when it comes to your internal networks that align you with new external networks, right? New external opportunities, people, circumstances that are reinforcing and supporting this highest expansion, right? This signal that's being received within the quantum field brings forth opportunities and resonance. And then you also have the 9 of Coins, right? And then the 10. So it's almost like this is you really stepping into a new era. That's what it seems like. You're stepping into a new era and a new chapter, not just in the external, but it's like reality in the external has reconfigured itself to correspond with all the internal work that you've done. That's like a huge energy, and it definitely reminds me of this quote I'm going to go ahead and read, because it's literally spot on with this energy that's coming through. So this quote says, where is it? A life-changing new opportunity is about to present itself to you. You are unlocking new doors of vast potential as the result of your inner growth, which is crazy because if you guys can see that, the likes on it is 666, right? And 666 basically talks about reflect, review, and revise. So these are things that you've been reflecting, reviewing, and revising when it comes to your physical experience. 666 also is 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, and 6 protons, which basically talks about a carbon life form, which is the physical vessel that your timeless consciousness has anchored into in order to be able to have a third dimensional experience. And there are certain, I'm hearing humps that you've been getting over, And things that you used to trip over, you're now going to be able to walk over pretty smoothly because you're a witness to how far it is that you've come. Your silence is its own transmission. Trees do not announce their growth, right? And you're not seeking external acceptance, validation, or even permission to show up for yourself now in the ways that had previously neglected. And because of that, you're a witness to how far it is that you've come, right? You walk a path of truth and you walk that path aligned with your integrity, okay? So that's a beautiful energy around you. Wow. Okay, as the sun goes down, we will go ahead and pull one more message for you. Let's see. What's the quantum field bringing back in resonance? What don't you see coming? Oh, what you don't see coming is that you're going to be met with a time, and a time is just consciousness traveling into a new event. So you're going to be met with a new event. I don't necessarily feel like it's even necessarily external per se, but I feel like it's like your internal new event that you're stepping into or aligning with is going to align you with new external opportunities, because you're being given the opportunity to embody a new way of being, especially mentally. And I cannot stress that enough because you have a 9 of Swords energy. So what you don't see coming is you're pretty much going to get out of your head and start getting into the moment, and not really have a fear of being perceived per se, because this is a Mars in Gemini energy, and Mars likes to move down one road. Gemini is a dual sign, so Gemini likes to kind of move multiple ways. And then you also have the Magician card. So if you've been in a state of analysis paralysis, if you've been in a state of, I'm hearing, doing too much planning to the point where you've been reluctant or procrastinating, I feel like would be a word, through planning and not actually taking action. There's something about listening to your heart and quieting your mind and opening your eye. That's what it is. Open your eye to see in this experience. Quiet the mind and listen to your heart. And with the Magician there at the base, it's going to lead to you tuning into other cosmic forces. And I feel like this is elemental factors where the universe is going to be speaking to you through everything around you, but it requires you to quiet the mind so that you can actually begin to listen. Because I do feel like what you don't see coming is you're going to be briefed for something. Let's see what it is. I feel like this is almost like a briefing of some kind. You even have the 4 of Swords up flip there. So that talks about even in your dreams you could be receiving messages through meditation, just through stillness, through isolation possibly, through deep internal healing, which is just internal integration. Yeah, the Heropant. You're going to be briefed for a new contract, okay? Now, this could be a contract when it comes to just things that you've wanted to experience, things that you've intended to experience. You also have the Devil reversed at the base, which basically talks about, there is almost I want to call it a contract as something that you continue to sign and sign up for and sign again until you choose not to anymore. And there's something about you signing up literally to a new way of being. The Heropant is also a Cyrus energy, so this is a rebirth when it comes to your mentality, first and foremost, like a huge mentality shift. And this is because any self-limiting thoughts that do come to the surface, the Hierophant is instantly able to open up from this myopic point of view, right, that the human may have, right, that the carbon-based life form may have, that's only able to attune to 1 or 2% of the light spectrum and cannot see everything that's happening behind the veil when it comes to invisible forces that are aligning things for you. And you can instantly open up to this wider, broader, universal truth and realize that there's so much going on in dimensions, frequencies, that the human is not able to fully perceive, but you are, okay? Your true self is able to perceive. And there's something about trust, and it calls for you to have faith. I know that you're being guided in ways that go far beyond the physical, because this is Seth energy and he represents the physical realm, right? And you're more non-physical than you are physical. So there are so many other cosmic forces that are guiding you. Faith is to be sure what it is that you want and certain of the things that you cannot see or the human may not be able to see, but you can foresee when it comes to your destiny before it unfolds. And there's something about knowing this, having faith in this, and knowing that faith not tested is no faith at all. You're going to overcome, especially mentally. More than just having hope, it's about having full-blown faith. Faith is a verb, not a noun. Therefore, it requires action and follow-through, even in the presence of fear, even in the presence of the unknown. Faith is a verb, not a noun, and so is love. So you're continuously showing up for yourself in the physical, despite the thoughts. Your actions always align with love. Your actions always align and support your highest possible expansion, no matter how things may seem, because you're aware that not everything is how it seems in this realm, especially because there is a lag time, there is a delay, okay? I'm hearing, and that delay is not denial, it's divine alignment, okay? So what was the message for this one? Your message, I guess, is understand the divine assignment. Understand the divine assignment and walk in alignment. That's what you don't see coming. This is unwavering faith. That was the message that kept coming through today. Unwavering faith. Cultivating strong self-trust, no matter how many things may seem. And it's when you walk with the heart that the universe reveals its mysteries to you. That's your message. So, my dear, my love, I hope that you guys enjoyed this message. Yeah. Always a pleasure. I want to let you enjoy the view actually before we go. You can see. Yes, that is gonna be it. This is my last night in Aswan for now. Yeah, where do we go from here? I guess we do it all over again. I don't know, that part is a mystery. But we will witness the becoming of how everything unfolds that has already came to be for the highest good of all. So, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. I'd love to be around. Personal reading details are also down below. And I'll speak to you very, very soon. Until next time. Bye!